Hi there, welcome back. So today I have another little solo episode for you. I'm going to try and do these a little more often. This episode is titled My Little Sales Pep Talk. Also, another title I thought of was Stop Being Stupid with Sales. So here's the thing. Selling is the easiest difficult thing you can do, or the most difficult easy thing you could do. And I know that makes no sense, but neither does how most people approach sales. Let me explain. People normally hire me because they're not happy with the status quo in their career or their business. They're looking for a big change, and normally there's money attached to the change that they're looking for. And this makes sense. So the problem, mission, path, whatever, it's pretty clear, and there are only a few variables to play with in any business. Number one, there's you. Or your team, or you and your team, but essentially you as the entity. Number two, what you sell. And number three, who you're selling it to. These are really the only variables that we have to play with. And each of these variables needs to be optimized in order for sales to really happen in any kind of fluidity. And we need to optimize the connections between each of these variables. And the better we do this, the more that we'll sell. And trust me, this is not complicated, but most people do find it very uncomfortable. So first of all, number one, you and your brand. Do you carry natural authority in your industry? Are you visibly trusted by others? If I superficially scan your world online, am I meeting a leader? If I am, then you're an easy person to say yes to. If not, I'll find someone else. Don't present your business or yourself as one of many. Be the one among many. Confidence is attractive, so bet on yourself online. Don't try and fit in. Try and stand out. Always be looking for ways for that. Number two, what do you sell? If you describe what you sell in the same terms that your competitors do, then I'm bored and I'm not going to pay attention because I've seen it all before and I've made up my mind. I want to know that your product is going to deliver the transformation I want. You're going to need to make me dream again. Specifically, in sales, this equates to courage. Have the courage to be specific about the transformation you offer, and you will have the attention of those ready for that specific change all day long. Number three, who you're selling to. Fear drives generality in sales. If you can find the courage to sell a single thing for a very particular person, you will find it much easier to sell. Trying to sell without a specific target is like an archer trying to hit a coconut blindfolded. So that's all pretty obvious, but I'm not done. Without the interface between each of these things, nothing is going to happen. We need to become the sales agent. Sales don't happen by themselves. We need to make them happen. Much as we wish people would just come knocking on our door, that is actually a very rare thing. In exploring this, I'm not going to lie, I could make the rest of this episode really complicated, and most people would, but it's actually very simple. But before I go on, I want to clarify something. You can sell without nailing or continuously refining any of the things I just listed. And lots of people do, but boy do they have to work hard for it. If you really hone those three items that I just mentioned, then what follows will be much, much easier. So now, for the magic ingredient, drum roll, conversations. Ta-da. Now, I know that sounds really vague, and I'll fix that, but I say this way because I want you to reflect on the fact that pretty much every lead generation technique, every referral strategy, every webinar or presentation should be designed with one single goal in mind. Every single sales strategy is designed to trigger the self-talk of the prospect. We want people to start thinking about us, our products, and the promise they hold in some new ways. A lot of people make a lot of money tempting you into the next big sales strategy, but here's the truth. If you put some time and effort into refining the three things we spoke about earlier, and I mean really refining it, every sales strategy will work. What matters most, here is not which tactic you use for generating conversations, but simply that you do pick one and actually execute it until you get good at it. The most common mistake I see people making in sales is that they spend more time thinking about which tactic to use than they do implementing it. Consistency is king, and whatever you choose, you'll get better at with practice. Webinars work, free communities work, lead generation courses work, so discoveries calls, interviews, podcast guesting, and live streams. Yes, TikTok works too. They all work. And yet most people don't sell what they wish they did because they avoid conversations and really refining the 3 key items we spoke about at all cost. I'm not going to lie, I have simplified things in this episode, but actually it is simple. Get super clear about who you are and make that matter. Get very clear that your product is your mission. And finally, your mission is to serve a single person, and you know exactly who that is. Finally, bet on yourself and communicate that as widely, as hard, and as often as you can with anyone who will listen. I hope that helps. If you do have questions, I would love to hear from you. My name is Bob Gentle. This is the Personal Brand Business Show. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on Monday again with another interview.